Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm Jaden, and in August 2025 I bought an abandoned homestead in the snowy mountains, New South Wales, Australia, packing up my life in Sydney and leaving all that behind. These videos document my journey from day one to building a self-sufficient homestead. I really hope you enjoy the videos. Thanks.
Whoa, that's a bright sun, but beautiful. So, house there, log pile there that I've been working on, and then what I said was, we'll try put vegetable garden here, raised beds, nice big fence around it to keep the wildlife out from stealing the food, which is my food. Anyway, so just cutting up these trees. I thought I'd show these. Oh, sunlight is directly in the camera. There we go. These massive logs, and these would have been dropped in the 1960s when the place was originally logged. And of course, you can see they're twisted. Even though they were only using it for chip, they're probably a little bit big for the machinery as well to load onto the trucks, and being twisted with knots and stuff in them. It just wouldn't have been good for packing, so they've left them. I'm happy to burn them in place as long as I stack the majority of it there and sort of half burn the log and then let the log smolder out. That way, like, you won't get big flames going up and hitting the trees. I might even trim like the low branches off and the smaller trees around it, and hopefully those trees won't catch alight, but I'll have a firefighting set up just in case. Spray them down with water, keep them nice and soaked. But anyway, if we reduce the log down by at least half by burning it, get the tractor, pile them back up and do it again. Yeah. Don't you love coming in 50 or 60 years later and cleaning up someone else's shit fight mess? I mean, look at this. This is crazy. They've cut the tree down. Just take the log, mate. You've already cut it down. You've already killed it, mate. Just take it or leave it. Don't cut it down then, you know? It's just annoying. Like, how many, 200-300 years and there'll still be remnants of logs here. So that's the investment they're putting into the land for, hey, I'm gonna book your land by doing this. Anyway, pain in the ass. But yeah. As you should be able to see, the chain came off. The wind was in the right direction. The very little wind I had, it's the first day in probably a week and a half it hasn't been blowing a gale. And with the lack of wind, and when there was wind, very slight breeze blowing that way, away from obviously the water tank and the house where I didn't want it to fall. So I did a very poor half cut, as you can see. So I need to work on keeping that straight when I get to the half mark. Then I went through probably a quarter on the back, which left this. So it's probably still too thin. This was probably thin. Could have left it a little bit more on both sides to pull it over, but thankfully when I was coming through, it didn't crack and fall and ruin everything. So with everything, a little bit of experience, and critique oneself, so you're always improving. So you would have seen me fail to pick that up on the time lapse. I just couldn't get under it and I bent one of the tines. So, too bad, so sad. Just pushed it into place. And I have a log on the other side, and that's just to provide a bit of stability because as you can see, they're all round and they can move around a bit. So at least there's something nice and solid that's less likely to have a big blowout for whatever reason. And we'll stack up the wood in between that. All coming along. All very good. I'm pretty happy. Hey, so I thought I would talk briefly about why I have cut down so many trees. And the simple answer is that this area between where the trees are now and the house is a firebreak. So should all these trees be on fire, there's not much for the fire to be able to jump towards the house. And that, in combination with some sprinklers around, should protect the house from being burnt down. And that's just not, for insurance reasons that, hey, if my house burns down, I have to build a new house. It's also for safety, life preservation reasons, because I will very likely be here. And also, just not my life, the life of emergency services, because they will fly around in the helicopter, obviously see that the house, fire's getting near the house, they'll send the fire truck down here if they have the resources to check to make sure no one's in the house getting burnt. And if the house is adequately protected, because if there was trees all the way up to the house, very likely that the fire is going to be very up to the house as well. So, that's another reason as well. Also, we've got the secondary reasons of getting logs to use for projects such as building stuff, fences, firewood, so lots of reasons. So look, the tree has done its job. It's grown, it's stored carbon in itself, and now I'm cutting down, reuse that carbon, still stored there, and then I'll plant new trees to store carbon. So if someone left a comment about, did I check for wildlife and stuff before I cut the trees down, but then they edited their comment, and that's fine, it's a legitimate question. But yes, I did check. I came out for a few nights, every night checking to see if there was possums up the tree. Of course, I checked it if there was any birds' nests or possums or koalas, up the tree. 90% of the trees were like the one directly in front of us. So they're very poor for nesting in any way. So there was nothing in it. So besides bugs and spiders, nothing was harmed in cutting the trees down or beside the tree itself. So just a very brief overview of what I did. Well, it was a bit of a busy week, but we got there in the end. Winter supply of wood coming along nicely. Next year's supply, I should say. I didn't do as much as before because I was mostly dropping trees, as you'll see in the video. There was a lot to do, and I did it. This was an experiment to see if I could build in this style. Made a lot of mistakes with it, but I've learnt for when I build the raised vegetable beds, how to cut the logs. You got to cut them both ways. You got to start them off properly and use ones all similar size, obviously. Obviously, Jaden. So I'll be using big logs like this, 2 or 3 high. If they're big like this one, they'll only need to be 2 high. If they're a bit smaller, say like that one, will need to be 3 high. But I'll do that. And I'll try explain my vision for the vegetable garden now. So sort of where you see this flat bit here, if I make a big U, imagine a big U there of log vegetable beds, and then the middle all clear up to the road there, and then one big one off to the side here, and then another big one off to the other side there. So you'll be able to walk straight down the middle and into the middle of the U, and you'll have pretty much vegetable beds all around you, except for the gap between the fence and the vegetable bed, and to walk all around them. So that's the vision there. A lot of trees to clean up, but yeah, take out the logs that I want to use for the vegetable bed. Other ones, cut them up as firewood. If there are any decent milling ones, we'll keep them. We'll take them down to the annex where I've got the other logs, and we'll keep going. So sort of feels like I haven't achieved much, but when I look back on the videos, of course, I have achieved a lot in a week. So like, comment and subscribe. followed the journey. And that's all for me this week. Catch you later.